All right, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday. 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, here to talk about all things about the world of professional wrestling. So we recently just got done talking about AEW Dynamite review. Now we're going to jump on into my Thursday Night Wrestling preview. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot me your comments, questions, and concerns. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Give me a shout out of where you're listening from. Hell, even give me some of your weekend plans. We can maybe talk about that. Let me know what you want to see at WWE SummerSlam. We have rumors coming up. So if you've heard something on the other end, you can definitely 1,010%, contribute to the conversation we're having here. Because this podcast isn't just my podcast, it's our podcast. As wrestling fans, we are 1,010%. We stick together 1,010%. It's like an unspoken bond whenever you see somebody with a wrestling shirt or whenever you see a post on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or, whatever. Like you just kind of, you stop, you kind of feel like you can't, connect with the person in a certain way because you have that same crazy passion for this sports entertainment conglomerate that is professional wrestling. So don't be afraid to tell me how you feel. Hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. And yeah, just share some of your feelings. All right, so we're going to talk about Thursday Night Wrestling preview. Without further ado, let's jump on into TNA Impact tonight. Mustafa Ali looking for a new direction after losing his X Division Championship at Slammiversary against Mike Speedball. Um, um, this is going to be a good one. I feel like a lot of people, kind of look down on Mustafa Ali because of, his size and stuff like that. But, kind of reminds me of like a mid carder trying to make it up to the main card. And Mustafa Ali, 1,010%, although he might not be the biggest, overwhelming looking guy, he can definitely make a main event match look, pretty darn good and entertain the fans 1,010%. So Ali claiming that he's making the TNA World Title great again. Kind of have that little bit of politics and stuff like that. What he's going for. I thought it was kind of funny. Nic Nemeth will take on Mustafa Ali tonight on TNA Impact. Nic Nemeth looks pretty confident. He was willing and ready to defend the championship last week, but of course Mustafa Ali loves his cliffhangers. Wanted some time to prepare, which was probably the right move. I would have done the same thing. Next, we have PCO and Steph Lander getting married. Mazel tov to the Canadian Frankenstein along with his partner, Steph Lander. Would be interesting to see what happens because pro wrestling and weddings always kind of end up bad. So there's going to be something crazy that's going to happen. Maybe AJ Francis comes back, to attack PCO, telling like, oh, we were planning it with Steph Lander the whole time. I think that'd be pretty crazy. The digital media champion / international Canadian champion might be in for a surprise. Hope he doesn't get his heartbeat. I hate it when big lugs like PCO and myself. I'm just kidding. No, but I just should be interested to find out what happens tonight. Maybe kind of building up toward finding the number one contender for PCO's digital media championship. Who knows? 1,010%. Next, we have Spitfire, Danny Luna, and Jody Threat. Obviously, they were robbed of a victory at Slammiversary. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Tonight, Jody Threat goes one-on-one against Masha Slamovich. Probably will be accompanied by Alicia Edwards, 1,010%. Rosemary, ready to unleash chaos. Whoever she fights in the ring tonight is in for a very horrific rise. Obviously, the promos and the interviews have been, a little askew, a little terrifying. That horror film kind of feel a little bit. Definitely, love the way they're kind of going with that. Rosemary, 1,010%. Like I've seen, sorry, excuse me, it's hot here. Kind of seen her, fight before. Obviously, I feel like she can hold her own inside of the squared circle. This could definitely be, kind of leading toward, trying to gain momentum to challenge perhaps Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. That would be a pretty interesting match. I got to be honest. You know what I mean? Or, Rosemary, maybe, her, Tatum Paxley, Wendy Chu, the creepos of NXT and, TNA Unite for a nice little, faction or something like that. That would be, pretty interesting, pretty ideal. And it just seems kind of crazy. So tonight on Impact, Ryan Nemeth looks to solve his Frankie Kazarian problems. They've been, Frankie Kazarian has been a thorn in the side of the Nemeth brothers for as long as I've been probably watching all of TNA. So Frankie Kazarian, he's like I said, he's just such an antagonist. He's such a like I don't want to say an a-hole. I'm just kidding. No, but like he reminds me of like a Randy Orton. I think I made that comparison a little bit. How he, no, he doesn't really care about, how the crowd really sees him. He doesn't care, who he pisses off, along the way in the journey, trying to find success, success. I don't know why I was going to say succession. That sounds, that wasn't right. Wrong wording. But Ryan Nemeth, he's more than capable to have a great match with Frankie Kazarian. Definitely, on my radar of gonna be one of the better matches tonight. I feel like, they might steal the show away from, the match that his brother is fighting for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Mustafa Ali. So, might be low key, might be cool. Might be kind of good match. Next, we have the Rascals taking on Speedball Mountain and Kushida. Obviously, when Mike Speedball, I think Bailey, he defeated Mustafa Ali for the X Division Championship. You saw the Rascals ultimately congratulate them, shaking their hands and saying like, we want a match next week. Go ahead and find a partner. They found Kushida. Kushida recently tagged with the Rascals, but now you have Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and now you have the new and improved Wesley. Ever since Wesley joined forces with the Rascals, once again after that 4-year hiatus, he just looks different. He just looks different. He looks like he's having fun inside the ring. 1,010%. And sometimes, it might be it seems simple, obviously, simple psychology. But if it gets to a point where you're ever like you feel dreaded on doing something, and believe me, you're not, you're probably doing horrible than you are in terms of, not doing anything at all. In terms of like, if you're at work and stuff like that, kind of great. If you don't love what you're doing, you know what I mean? You come in, you're just like, Wesley, after he lost to Obafemi and, he cannot challenge for his NXT North American Championship as long as Femi holds it. And you could tell that hurts him. You could tell that, after that, I thought he was going to call it quits. You had him about 2 weeks on NXT, about to call it quits, and then you saw Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel come out to lift the spirits up. And 1,010%, it was the right decision. Love the decision 1,010%. And lastly, tonight on TNA Impact, we have Joe Hendry. We'll speak upon what happened with Josh Alexander at Slammiversary. Lord only knows what would have happened. Joe Hendry, pinned Moose. Probably the last person to pin Moose in the longest time. It's crazy. The other, competitors didn't really have to worry about the problem that is the leader of the system, the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion Moose, because Joe Hendry, hit that choke slam. He hit that. I forgot what he called it. Oh, forgot what he called it. Damn it. But no, I love Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. No, I think he's going to be a great superstar. I think he definitely has a championship caliber, potential. He still thinks and he still says if he wins the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, he's going to call out the Doctor Thugonomics, the hustle, loyalty, and respect. John Cena would be pretty awesome. Would probably be the biggest bombshell in terms of professional wrestling crossovers in the history of professional wrestling. I think that would be pretty cool. But, obviously, I don't know who I would be rooting for if John Cena fought Joe Hendry. Joe Henry's so damn cool, man. And when, he's you know, he's viral right now. He's hot. Everybody wants a piece. All right, now moving on to the other Thursday show, we have Ring of Honor Club 75. We're going to kick off Ring of Honor with a 6-man championship match. Dustin Rhodes and Erichs defend their championships against the Iron Savages. We're also going to see the former Ring of Honor Strong champion and member of the Blackpool Combat Club, Wheeler Yuta, go against Anthony Henry. And you got to think about it. You have, John Moxley. He's taken some time away from AEW. He's gotten a grant from Tony Khan. Bryan Danielson on the verge of retiring. All you have is really Claudio Castagnoli. And, Wheeler Yuta's kind of out there on his own. You know what I mean? Like he recently lost his title. That's never good, obviously. And, once you become like a sole survivor of like a club, kind of like where you're seeing with Xavier Woods and the New Day with Karrion Kross and stuff like that, you need somebody to watch your back. nobody's there, then it gets you to start questioning their alliance and their allegiance and stuff like that. And it starts questioning, like, hey, honestly, maybe we shouldn't be a stable together. You know what I mean? So, Wheeler Yuta dealing with some identity issues on Ring of Honor. We also have the Machine Brian Cage taking on Rocky Romero. Atlantis Jr. barely squeezed out of Death Before Dishonor with his title, the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Um, you know, Brian Cage was close. He was, he eliminated, or no, he manhandled most of the competitors that were in that match. Atlantis Jr. just right place, right time, was able to pick up the victory. But Brian Cage, he's still, leader of the Cage and Agony. I don't know, the Mogul Embassy or whatever. But he's special. He's special, 1,010%. Kind of reminds me of like a ruthless aggression kind of Batista. You know what I mean? Like a gentle giant. But obviously, right now he's heel right now. So if he ever goes babyface, he could probably make a good title run. 1,010%. Next, we have the Beast Mortos taking on AR Fox. Mortos has competed on Friday, Rampage and Rampage, in the Royal Rampage, Saturday at Collision, and last night on AEW Dynamite. So his match card has been, super full. Obviously, in terms of trying to get more experience, trying to get your name out there more. Like I mentioned before, Don Callis was extremely impressed by the Beast Mortos last night on Dynamite. How he basically led Roderick Strong and Arush to a victory against the conglomeration. So you can, I don't know. I think the Beast Mortos, he's going to be the next one to maybe challenge, for the Strong Championship, maybe challenge for the world, the TV title. Hey, anything's possible. Next, we have Robyn Renegade against Maya World. This is going to be big because I feel like this is going to, in terms of Red Velvet's next opponent for that Ring of Honor World Women's Television Championship. You can definitely see a lot, this, I don't know why this is not the normal contendership. I think 1,010% both of these women, they're on the radar. Robyn Renegade is like right on the cusp of being great. So, will she knock off Maya World tonight? Who knows? Will she get a title shot against Red Velvet? That seems more than likely. So then we're gonna have Fuego del Sol take on Jacoby Watts. We have the premier athletes taking on the superstars, and we have top flight in tag team action tonight at Ring of Honor, Honor Club 75. So make sure you tune into TNA Impact, also Ring of Honor tonight. So yeah. All right, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to move on to my third segment. We're going to talk about WWE SummerSlam rumors. Should be fun, obviously it's cool to like play around with rumors and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So hey, stay tuned.